my little gemstones, it's Afira, and today I'll be reading Riddle Me This by Quarantine Vibes. Chapter 3, The Dream of Clouds and Owls. Logan usually liked owls. Aside from being symbols of wisdom, they also had fascinating characteristics, such as how their ear canals were shaped in a unique way for gathering sound waves, or how their arterial system has adapted so that they can turn their head around 270 degrees. The owl in front of them ruffled itself angrily, turned its head around twice, a full 720 degrees, and glared at them. Logan sighed. He'd have to update Thomas's bird facts soon. The owl stood tall, its neon green feathers reflecting the sunlight. On its stomach it had the word owl in glittering gold letters, and a curious pattern, 4 arrows pointing away from each other. Left or right, high or low, choose correct or fall below, the owl boomed. To his side, Remus shifted. What the fuck? He asked. High or low, left or right, choose correct or stay and fight. It seems to be asking us a riddle, Logan said. Remus groaned and plucked Logan off the ground with surprising ease. Well, it sounds like it's picking a fight, which... He unhooked his mace from his belt and grinned widely. I am definitely here for. Remus ran towards the bird and brought down his mace, then fell backwards with a reverb. What the... Is this thing made out of stone? He said with a groan and got up. The owl narrowed its eyes at Remus and swiped its wing. Remus! Logan yelled, dropping his bag and catching the Duke's arm before he could fall off the cloud. Remus looked at Logan, eyes wide for a moment, before he hefted himself back up. He shook his fist. Oh, it is on, bird brain! He yelled, running towards it. Remus, wait! We need to solve the riddle. I think it has something to do with the arrows on its stomach. Riddle schmiddle! If that's the case, let's just button mash! He yelled, spun his mace around his wrist, sidestepped the owl's plunging beak, and hit the owl's chest. Again, there was no sign that the owl felt it. Logan groaned in frustration. It says, choose correct or fall below. We can't take that chance. We can't, but I can. Remus grinned and was about to hit one of the arrows when Logan tackled him out of the way. What gives, nerd? Thomas needs both of us to solve his dilemma. Plus, there's no telling whether we both will fall if we go about this incorrectly. Remus seemed to consider that second point. He shoved Logan off of him and stood up. Okay, fine. He pushed Logan away as the bird dove towards him again. Logan landed on his butt. You think of the answer. I'll keep the world's ugliest highlighter busy, Remus yelled and grabbed the bird's foot before it could get to Logan. He managed to throw it over his shoulder, tossing it to the far side of the cloud. How are we supposed to solve your stupid riddle when you're trying to eat us, asshole? Remus yelled. The owl opened its beak. Ask a ragman, it boomed. Hey, I resent that. I'm the rat man, Remus yelled, hitting the owl's beak with the back of his mace. He let it fly forward before the wrist strap caught and spun the mace around his hand in an arc. If the impact had any effect, the owl didn't show it. A ragman? Logan muttered. A ragman. A ragman. Why did that sound so familiar? Logan closed his eyes. If this was truly a riddle, it meant that there was something he was missing. Any time now, Poindexter, Remus called. I'm thinking. Think faster. That's a physical impossibility. So is an owl that weighs a metric ton, but here we are, Logan. Logan bit back a retort, and instead ran through everything he knew about owls. They were mainly nocturnal, predatory, there were around 200 different species. Come on, nerd! Death by Duolingo is not the way I want to go out. Logan blinked. Of course, this wasn't just any owl. This was a mascot for a language program. Language. The riddle may have something to do with... Remus! Logan screamed at the side, whose mace was now stuck in the owl's mouth. I know the answer! Hit the lower arrow on its stomach. Why? Remus screamed as the owl pulled its beak upwards and Remus went flying, landing next to Logan. Just trust me. Remus rubbed his head and nodded. How the heck are we going to get to its stomach, though? He asked, eyeing the rampaging bird. Perhaps throw something heavy at it? Remus nodded slowly. But it has my mace, so... Remus stopped. A smile creeped onto his face. You have an idea? Logan observed. You're not gonna like it, Remus said with a wink, not looking very contrite as he bolted towards where Logan's precious backpack had been abandoned. The owl made its way towards him, talons outstretched, but Remus rolled out of its way, grabbed the bag, and chucked it. The pack hit the owl straight on, just at the low arrow. The owl stopped. Remus's mace dropped out of its mouth and Remus caught it. Remus said and poked it. The owl turned its head around and around and around. Its eyes rolled back and its beak opened impossible wide. Logan shivered at the sight. Suddenly, the clouds below them began to vibrate with the owl. They surged, turning into a whirlpool, dragging in Logan and Remus. The owl screeched one more time, shimmered, and disappeared into the sky. "Logan, grab my mace!" Remus yelled, holding out the weapon to him. Logan grunted. They were being pulled into the center of the storm too quickly. He reached out, barely managing to grasp the hilt of the mace before being sucked in. Thank you all so much for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you like what you hear and you want to read more, you can find a link to the fic and the author in the description. If you want to check out other podfics I've done, you can click on the playlist linked on the screen. See you next time!